feel free. And I just wanna be me. Yeah, I just wanna go so crazy. I just wanna be a freak. Yeah, I just wanna rise to the top. Yeah, I just wanna go reach the peak. So I've been really well focused on success. Hey, y'all will see. Yeah, you will see that I will get it. Cause I'm really focused, man. I make it with the rap and I just follow my path. I just follow my passion. To me, this is what's precious. Yeah, in my soul, man, I can feel it. So every single verse, man, I just gotta go and kill it, man. I gotta be the kid. I could be the guy taking you out. I could be the villain, but that is okay. Lately, I'm painting my path on my way. Yeah, I got no time that I can waste. So I've been sitting in the space. Yeah, making rest every day, man. You know that I go insane. Yeah, I hit you with a bullet to the brain. Let us stop first, cause we going insane. You don't know what I'm gonna do. You don't know what is next. And I'm loving the fact, truly it's making me blessed. Cause I work on my team, no snakes in the grass. And we have a trust in the wind because of the work that we did in the past. Because of the work that we did in the past. When we went to hours, we barely got rest. So I get the realm and we didn't finesse. So I got the feelings that we might be next. Cause when we go in, we win in the match. Sure. When we go in, we win in the match. So that's how we do, cause we be the best. We be the best. Yeah, we be the best. Whoa. Yeah, we be the best. We be the best. Hey, yeah, we be the best. Hey, we be the best. Yo, you wanna come and test? Whoa, you want to see we the best? Hey, you don't see that we're the best kid, so I suggest you never really come and test it. But otherwise, I will smack your face like Michael Jordan does with a ball on the basket. Oh damn kid, but you didn't expect it. You never really thought that this could just happen. But now really come on and we pull out with the action. Cause people defeat those they don't get it like.
I'm getting freaky. Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Cause you know I get it, I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky on. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. Get that freaky on. 진경 끄고 다 같이. I'm getting freaky. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on, get that freaky. I'm getting freaky. Get it right. 상관하지 마. you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in, go on and take your bite. Count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights. Breathe me in, go on and take your bite. Count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of Aegis. I am Aulzeren0r, joined by Glorsnax and PrettyFig, and we are bringing you ZMG versus Lotus. Last week, ZMG swept their match in a 2-0, and Lotus had a bye, so this will be our first time seeing Lotus in action.
Should be good to watch. I was entertaining watching the games last week. And hi, I'm Glorsnax, one of the dual head coaches of ZMG. It's a pleasure to be here.
And I'm PrettyFig. I'm a co-owner of ZM.
So, what are you looking to watch tonight, Alz?
Could you be a bit more descriptive? What do
Well,
you...
specifically team comp-wise coming out of ZMG, especially after a strong week 1.
Well, I'm still getting used to this ZMG team. I am new to the organization, so I am not familiar with how this particular team plays. So I think that would be a question better directed at PrettyFig rather than me.
I interested to see what ban ZM pulls this week, especially since our jungler tends to get Hecarim banned. Our top laner has a very strong 1/4 split with the Yorick, and then our mid laner Azir. I mean, his main is obviously Azir, hence the name. But he's been really practicing the Swain and Ari, so I'm curious to see what they'll give and what they'll get.
We have started draft here. As a reminder, Belveth is still a courtesy ban from both teams, so despite the fact that she will not get a pick or ban, that is not by choice. That is a rule that both teams have agreed on here.
That is a league rule, so
The
it should
Yorick
be
ban, the Hecarim ban.
okay.
Are these
Hail, Senna.
are these particularly surprising bans against ZMG? Are these champions that we've seen them pull out in scrims or in week 1?
Uh, like I said before, the Yorick is very strong with Shane, and then the jungler plays a very good Hecarim.
Oh
Oh my gosh,
my
they left up
goodness.
Azir. They just left up
Ren-
Azir.
they don't pick Azir instantly, they just go for the Viego straight power pick.
I guess maybe they're egoing and thinking that Azir will not be a problem. There's the Wukong. Okay,
Okay.
maybe
That's
they have
actually not a
planned.
horrible matchup for Viego, actually. If he can play it correctly around his stealth.
Um, maybe they have a pocket pick that they plan to answer the Azir with,
The
considering it's
Maw.
not.
Okay, so we have Kog'Maw out, and yeah, I mean, what do you pick into Azir's Azir? I mean, he's literally named after the champion. Come on,
I mean,
you gotta respect here.
there's the Azir pick. Okay.
Is it possible here that Lotus has something in the back pocket where they don't expect to win lane, but they also know that they don't need to dedicate any resources to keeping Azir in check?
I think it was just a complete draft mishap. Lulu also picked away. I like that. No Cog Lulu really forces Kog'Maw to play either with Janna or another Enchanter support. Or Renata.
I mean, but like,
I would prefer an Enchanter, but Renata also works very well with Wukong with the Don't Die, or the Fight or Die mechanic.
For anyone
okay,
who
there's.
was here on Tuesday night in the scrim match that Luna played against Stun Gaming, the Renata Glask in games 2 and 3 was very effective. So we have seen it
Okay,
be
thank you
powerful
for
here.
reminding me of my pain. Appreciate it. I will remember this great tragedy that you have caused.
For clarity, folks, Glorsnax is, of course, one of the 2 coaches of Team Luna, who was unfortunately swept 3-0 in their scrim match on Tuesday.
They beat Venom
Banned the
2-1.
Lally and the Ash against ZM. I know the ADC has been practicing a lot of Ash. I don't really know how many games he's gotten off like since last night, but apparently it's been a big enough impact where they decided to ban it.
I don't think, I really don't think the Ashe is kind of worth the ban here, because if they pick Ashe, the only damage they have is the Azir, like high damage threat, other than like Viego going Kraken, right?
Seems like it's probably. I guess the Wukong can still be a flex, so that could be either Echo mid or Echo jungle.
I was going to
But
ask if y'all were surprised by the J4 ban, given that y'all seemed pretty sure that Wukong was going to be in the jungle.
I am
I mean, it's
surprised
still
by
a
the
flex.
J4 ban, because I do think it is Wukong jungle.
Well, I know, like in the past, sometimes Azir,
Don't do it.
like the
Don't
champion
do it,
itself.
Shane. No.
Well,
Okay, Renekton. The Croc is back. It's a NA special, B4 Renekton. Are
I
we
know the
excited?
and there's the Ziri. Oh wait, Ziri Lulu. That's a fairly strong lane too. Their
That is
mid game is
actually a good thing.
very good. I just don't know exactly about the late game scaling.
Final pick from Lotus Hero really have to tell us where their team comp is because they've got flex picks all over the map.
Hey, Renekton is not the lowest win rate top lane like I thought he was. Never mind. This prick is a Smurf, and they picked Nasus.
No, they
It's
swapped
Shen.
over to Shen.
Oh, okay. That's even worse
Wait,
for
doesn't
Renekton.
Renekton like deal things with shields?
He can. It's only if Shen doesn't W. That is how he would win that. Because Shen W stops all auto attacks, and Renekton W is an auto attack.
However, as a former Shen main, I can say with pretty good certainty that that is a fairly skill matchup since the Shen W has a not insignificant travel time. So, if Shane is more skilled than Lotus's top laner Firefight, this may still be a matchup in Shane's favor.
I'm curious.
I personally believe experience wins out here in the top lane. If Shane has played a lot more Renekton than this gentleman on Lotus has played Shen, then Shane should be able to pilot it very effectively. If Shen has played more than Renekton, it's going to be very hard for Renekton to get anything early game bully wise, especially since Shen does do 8% max HP damage early game.
Looking at these two team comps, what are y'all expecting us to see in the early game from these two junglers? Where do you expect their focus is going to be?
Ideally, with a Shen lane, in my opinion, you want to get Shen ahead early so that when he ults down onto probably the Kog'Maw, he won't lose too much, right? Because he'll already be in a good state top lane that him ulting to save a team member won't impact his lane phase. And then I think depending on how that would go, you would start focusing more towards the bot side of the map.
Where do you
I
expect
think
Viego to be going then?
I think Viego needs to stay mid because I think Wukong may also gank mid once or twice just to make sure Echo can get ahead, even though it's already a hard matchup for Azir. Because Echo can easily get onto him. But if Azir outplays it, then you know what? It's just an Azir diff.
But I think it's kind of disrespectful not to ban Azir against someone named Azir. But that's just my 2 cents.
Oh, I think it's completely disrespectful, but I'm not coaching.
Well, we shall see here in the next 20 or 30 minutes whether the disrespect was earned or misplaced. Of course, we'll
Now,
be hoping it's
we
misplaced.
have seen the Zeri hotfix nerfs have really kind of brought that champion back down. Really, the only thing good about that champion now is the W still doing that extended damage because Riot decided to overbuff the champion and then remove the only good part of the buff when the worst part about the buff was just the W crit. So, interesting spot for Zeri. She basically has to ult and get at least, I think, a good like 40 stacks, and she'd be able to safely kite away from Wukong constantly in Echo. But it also depends on how bot lane is able to perform. If Kog'Maw and Renata are able to get ahead, and Zeri's behind, Kog'Maw will just stand still and press W and kill her.
Well, do we have any other commentary here before we sit back and wait for spectator delay to take us into game?
Curious. and so I looked it up, and Azir right now has over 500 games of ranked on Azir this split. So although Echo might be a hard matchup, I'm pretty sure he's probably played a few. Like he has the knowledge on how to verse an Echo based off of over 500 games of Azir this split.
500 games is just a few games. Not not a master of the champion by any stretch of the imagination, right?
I think he's a little bit skilled on the Azir.
Oh, it's actually over 600. I did math wrong. It's okay.
Alrighty. Well, we will send the lovely folks in Twitch chat into a brief break here as we wait for spectator delay, but we will be back as soon as this game starts. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, folks. We are getting into game 1 here. Both teams have loaded in and are heading out onto the rift.
Since one of the things I missed last week was the fact that our Anivia had fleet footwork. So what do you think of the runes that each team has chosen this game?
I think the more pressing concern is that Shane forgot to buy items. Was forced to go back and lose some of the vision ability there.
It's pretty normal setup for everyone all around the board. Guardian supports lethal tempos, electrocute, lethal tempo, both conquerors, grasp, and press the attack. I really don't like press the attack here. Think conqueror would be better for him, considering if he gets the if he eats the Shen W once, it's going to be hard for him to even proc it. But what do I know? I'm
Do
just
you
a
go
lowly top
press
player.
the attack if you like assume you're gonna win? Is that like kind of one of those? Is that kind of how you decide between that rune and conquer?
Yeah, pretty much. If you know that you're gonna empower W on Renekton a lot, then you go ahead and you just do that.
I'm not very sure about this incredibly early ward that Renata put down. She ran directly to the bot lane, put a ward in the middle lane brush there. I'm not quite sure what she was thinking there. It's gonna die here almost before they start fighting, but
Okay, never mind. Renekton just had the greatest trade of his entire life, hitting that Q on Shen. I may be eating my own words.
I know Renekton is one of Shane's better champions, so like I think he just that was a lot of damage. So I think
Okay, Shane. He is
Shane,
popping off.
Shane just might be gapping with the Renekton, you know.
the level
Yeah,
1
he's
for
gonna make
Shen
me
is
look
incredibly
bad.
weak, but now that Shen is level 2, he does have the ability to cancel some of that damage.
Oh, we have a nice fight bot here. Lulu E is right then and there. Now it's gonna be Zeri taking a lot of damage here. The flash forward! Reality! Yes, sir! No, never mind. I'm sorry for hyping you all up, as Reality may fall himself, and he will. The flash is not there in time. The heal is not enough, but this is Zeri's first kill. Potentially a double. Chooses not to go for it. And just like that, we have traded kills in the
Looks
bot
like
While
lane.
there's
Azir,
And just like that, it said as well in the pregame, Wukong will be ganking mid a lot, even though it is an echoed favorite matchup. You did give Azir his one trick, so
despite it
Azir
being
taking.
Echo favored, Azir seems to be holding his own fairly well here. He is somewhat up in CS here, although by a whole 1 minion.
He did take a bad trade. Reality playing Spy Master here.
like this mid lane's gonna get a lot of love by both junglers and supports this game.
I agree. I think Zeri has to kind of run away here. Unless Renata
Junglers are
just
gonna
walks in on her, as she is doing there right then and there, just zoning her. Straight from the minions. Reality needs to be there. And that's going to be uh, not a very good trade, but Reality's trying his best to make it somewhat worthwhile. So an interesting thing here, Kog'Maw did buy boots with the 4 pots, and now has chugged all of his pots. I think he just chugged the last 2 right now.
Is on the top side of the map, so I'm curious to see if he'll like come by and say, "Hey, Renekton, remember me?" and then leave
I
after he
mean,
finishes.
Shen did waste his W for free there. Just I had said it earlier. If Renekton is the more experienced player, Renekton will win this. Shen cannot waste these Ws for free. That is his only get safe trade win card.
even if he doesn't waste it, its cooldown is twice
Okay,
as long as the W
Azir.
cooldown.
Okay, that okay. Azir kind of just like in his mind he had ultimate. You know, in his mind he ults, flashes there, does the outplay on stream live, and then like mastery 7 emote spams. You know what I mean?
I have a sneaking suspicion that the Aegis folks would look down a little bit on behavior like that on stream.
Not on the Aegis stream, guys. This is the Legends stream.
That is fair.
Shen is kind of getting beat.
Okay.
A little bit, but
If he
Shane
hits
is
6,
playing.
Alls,
if he just hit 6, I wonder if he'll turret dive.
you're getting complimented in the Twitch chat.
Why? Smart move by Shane to back away here. If he'd gotten taunted under turret, he would likely have died before he was able to pop that ult.
I do like Shen immediately rushing plated. I think it's just the best option. Personally, I wouldn't go Bramble into a Renekton. The healing is so like knowledgeable, actually. Like when Riot nerfed the healing and they nerfed Renekton healing, I think I got an empowered Q on a full wave and I healed 100. And it was like a good 6-7 minions.
Shane here
As
starting to make some bad trades.
Shane has to flash away here unless Shen had the flash there, could have easily traded flash for flash. I guess just chose not to, just forced to punish Shane as he did not take the reset and did not respect the teleport. Now he has to waste his own teleport top, but he goes and saves it for the Iron Spike and the Long Shield. Meanwhile, Caldwell taking a horrible trade in the bot lane, just kind of eating all of the Zeri damage.
Perhaps a little bit too aggressive, thinking that he had the Wukong support there, but reality is a
Oh,
little bit caught
speaking
out
again
here.
right now, this is a lot of damage onto reality. Can he get it right now? The flash by Wukong is right here. Now, here is Jor. Can he make anything happen with the Viego? The answer is no. Reality instantly collapsed on, and his reality is not real right now.
Are you at all
Guys, come on.
surprised that
I gotta make the dad jokes here.
Are you at all surprised that Lotus didn't immediately turn on the Drake after that pick there?
Yes, extremely surprised. Now I see why, because Renata is now immediately ganking mid lane. Echo has to ult, which means Azir can easily flash away from it, but Azir, you should back away, my friend.
Did not back away and found the quick way home.
I mean, he did back away, back to the fountain. Granted, it's not what you want, but, you know, a reset's a reset.
Hey, some people like grayscale, I guess.
Not me, personally.
Shane starting to take worse and worse trades here. Really finding himself on the receiving end of the Shen damage.
That was actually a really good trade right there for Shane, and now he's going to get the empowered Q, but directed camera auto forces us off, and now we go back to the auto camera top as now it's going to be Renata running for her life. The W on her was not enough. I saw it in the corner of my eye as Reality had a nice little thing right there, and now we have the Shen ultimate top. He is 100 HP, and now Shane has to try his best to run for his life, but it won't matter. The Nimbus strike on the Wukong means good night, crocodile. Very unfortunate. But on the good news, Zeri did get that kill bot. Were you watching the minimap like I was, Alz?
I did see it out of the corner of my eye. Directed camera decided not to play nice with us, unfortunately, and I did not swap it over in time. Although
it does look like Red Side will go for this Rift Herald.
Lotus going for the correct play here, since they decided not to get the dragon earlier, decided to waste their flash onto Lulu to kill him. Kind of trolly in a way. Would you guys not agree?
I mean, an objective-based game. I would hope that if you get the kill bot, you just walk over, take the Drake that's there. But, you know, maybe they were scared of doing a 50-50 smite with the Viego.
And I will say that at least they managed to put Azir somewhat behind.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Echo has Merc Treads as Echo, which is not really kind of ideal for him. Or for Lucidity and or Sorcerers, if you really want to. As now Jorah is here, he wants to go ahead, and his presence alone causes great fear in Shen as he taunts away.
But Wukong is there and looking at perhaps getting the return counter gank here. Decides not to chase.
No, Wukong decides his red is more important. He is quite a CS deficit down right now, 16.
Although
and now we really... Yes.
With the 2 kills, Wukong is still up 600 gold.
Well, I mean, granted, kills are 300 gold. I think it's like a full clear is 300 gold as well, so Diego needs 2 full clears on top of Wukong getting no camps to match gold. Which is kind of crazy.
Personally, would love to see some more wards topside. Like, Renekton being this far forward makes me very scared without the vision coverage he would need to spot out a Wukong gank.
Fortunately, there has been not really any attention top ever since Wukong came top to kill him. They are just constantly camping mid right now. That is a decent That is a decent Emperor's Divide, but it's not enough. Azir has fallen again, so they gave the Azir, and they have responded to it effectively so far. Granted, Azir is a late game champion, and I trust the man with 608 games to know how to pilot his champion effectively into the later stages of the game. But right now, my only fear is this Renekton. What exactly are you gonna have him go? Gore Drinker? And have him be a just body
Reality
in the team
stole
fight?
the Scuttle Crab there from
Okay,
Leonidas.
Wukong is now mad. He is seeing red purely, and now Echo is here. Bot Reality has the flash. The latest product is in, and Renata flashes forward, gets a stun on 2, but that's gonna be huge damage right there from Diego. Instant possession right now. Wukong trying his best to do as much as he can. The Shen ultimate will save his life. And now Kog'Maw trying to run away as fast as he can, but this is the Zeri moment, and this is going to be the Ignite! It's going to be the last auto, we'll confirm one more! And now Shen walking forward, forcing the Zeri to flash away. Kog'Maw passive finally joins the fight and explodes in front of Legends as they get a total of a 1 for 2.
A 1 for 2, and Shane got the chance to get back into this game a little bit with some free time with that top turret. It appears he got 3 plates out of that.
They got the Renata ult, which missed everyone. The Shen ult, and then teleport back top, I believe.
Yeah,
and then, pardon?
They did get it. Yeah.
Yep.
We're agreeing with it.
Okay. So the thing is Dragon is about to be up. I can't actually see the timer for it, but I can see the hourglass on Dragon, so I assume it's about to be back up.
We have 45 seconds on Drake.
Renekton does have TP advantage, and Shen will not have ulti for this fight.
Okay, so Cloud is gone. Riptail just dropped bot, I guess, to help facilitate the push right now and get as many plates as possible. Viego will go mid, basically singling that Azir is kind of going to a different lane or is going to be slow mid. So Viego being there kind of gives that information away. So Cloud Dragon and Mountain Dragon are about to spawn. That means we have Ocean, Infernal, and Hextech, and this is the Shuriba Shuffle! Oh my goodness, it's here!
To be a dead Kog'Maw. And that was what I was saying earlier, is that although people were talking about not being able to get to the Kog'Maw, I'm like, if Azir gets the flank that he needs...
Wait, they both chase the Echo so hard that he just gets out with a free ultimate, dodges one more time, he's over the wall! Jobey has no possible reset ultimate right there. Azir, is it going to be enough for the Leandri's burn? No, unfortunately.
But it is a Drake.
It is Mountain, taken right then and there. Did force the Renata ultimate, so he did go berserk on his own Lulu, you know? We all feel like doing that in our solo queue games sometimes. For some reason, my computer's running very smooth right now, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Whole lot better that it's smooth than if it had been running chunky, right?
So I just said, you're like, oh, let me pink word this bush that someone's already sitting in, and you're like, oh, well, there goes 75 gold.
But now it's actually going to be invade right then and there. Reality was caught warding, and Wukong decided, I'm going to be here myself. This is my time. And just beats the poor little Pix Fairy to death with his giant staff. But now it's a collapse right here onto Shane. Now Echo is taking a lot of damage. The Shen ultimate is also there, forcing him out of the fight. Azir just walks forward into the Shen. But now here is a possible Viego. Can he do this right now? Will hit one stun. He does have the ultimate coming up soon, and that's going to be the Azir slow. Can it be enough? Please, yes, the stun will get it. Shane gets his first confirmed kill, but now it's a gank bot lane right here. But Zeri is doing a lot of damage when he get one trade. He does, and Rena takes the shutdown. Kog'Maw, strapped for gold this game, will not get any more.
I don't have you.
What happened?
I said, did Renata have W? Like,
Yeah,
they got
she
the
W'd
kill.
herself.
Oh,
It's the more important target, of course.
Of course. So now it is Infernal Dragon for the side of Legends if they do decide to get it. Of course, it would be dangerous if Kog'Maw, Echo, and Wukong got this Infernal Dragon. So now Legends has to play this extremely carefully. At least minute 20 rotations.
should be a turret top, I believe. Yeah, or no? Maybe not.
Does not
Maybe
appear. Looks
And
like the
now
minions will
Wukong
die.
is immediately going to chase him down, and that is a dead crocodile. I don't think you can really run away from that.
A valiant effort, but not quite enough. Viego
He tried.
forced to defend this turret here. T-Garden, though, might find himself in a bit of trouble.
So we did go ahead and take that tower bot right there with Echo. So he does have Night Harvester. God, I haven't seen Night Harvester in so long. I actually have not seen that item played. I tried it the other day. It was okay. Is the best I could say about it. I think I played it on Rumble. I played Rumble mid and I used Night Harvester since I was the sole AP source. I think I mean, we won the game. I popped off, but it's not a thing about me.
Like we're gonna be forcing the mid lane. Azir trying to go in and do some fancy moves on this little poor Kog'Maw.
Didn't have the
Will
flash,
not get the
though,
kill,
which...
but definitely force the Kog'Maw to back up. Oh, we're gonna drop the rift. Open up mid and hopefully get some deeper vision. Topside, Renekton got the turret. The Shen is running from his life.
Wastes the W there. The W for Renekton will come back up here shortly, but managing to taunt out of the way.
Apologies about that. I had to get the information to my team out for the script that we have in about 20. So humble brag, apparently. I am not a humble brag. I am an ego man. I've never lied. I'd say I was humble. But I do like the CS lead in bot and top lane right now, negating that assist really that Shen has gotten. Does have Frostfire, so it's a much cheaper item, of course. Tanks being very good because their items are dirt cheap. Frostfire very gold efficient. People prefer Sunfire for more damage sake, and while Sunfire is great, sometimes it's just way too expensive.
Looks like they're trying to go for a bush cheese here. So we'll see.
Echo? He immediately going to go in on him right then and there. Gets polymorphed as soon as he is able to. Now they know that 4 is here. They did see the Wukong clone. Dragon is up right now. This is going to be a humongous fight right now. There's the Aurelius coming in, and that's going to be a nice little Viego stun. Echo immediately forced to flash away and ult. Now it is going to be Zeri in a lot of trouble. Has to flash away. And that's going to be a huge Shurima shuffle followed by the voltage! And it's death destruction for Lotus!
Give Azir, and they're the plays he'll make.
Oh my goodness, the Shurima shuffle onto 3 finds a perfect team fight for the Zeri to continue and finish off the damage. That is a possible 25-minute soul right now. Could be a possible Baron angle if they do decide to go for it. Baron, of course, did get that in quotation. Still a very weak objective. Can die with 3 to 4 members of the team, as Shane will also get bot tower. Fun fact, even though that it is a 3 dragons to 0 lead, the gold lead is only about 1.6k. Sorry about that. I just let my hype energy kind of run out for a second.
I will say though, blue side has now gotten all of the outer turrets of red side.
That top lane inner is also extremely low as well as Azir. Go ahead top with Viego as backup to go ahead and try and kill Echo again. Does not have really the mana to afford this. Viego choosing to just back instead. Letting Azir farm it. Echo actually deciding to stay top with that much mana is a bit interesting. As now here he goes, trying. That would have been it. He only had mana for that. I 100% think he dies there. He just gets Shurima shuffled into the tower because he needs 50 mana to ult. Don't think he had enough for the chrono break, personally. So, Alz, in your opinion right now, how do you like the game going for Legends?
I feel like it's going very well for Legends at the moment. The only concern that I would have here is if the Wukong can get onto the back line, take out the Zeri. Well, Azir is busy trying to do Azir things. ZMG might find themselves lacking in damage after that Shurima shuffle. And Wukong, of course, is 4-0-2, so he has the potential to be a problem if Reality doesn't do a good enough job of laying down wards, but as we can see from the minimap, their vision is immaculate at the moment. However, Azir is
Nice little
being a little too
Shurima right
aggressive.
there. Forcing 2 off of him. Saves his life, of course. Bit dangerous, though. He's playing with fire, of course, as all ZMG members do. And it just comes with the territory. Right, Fig?
I'm looking at these vision scores, and our poor little Renekton has a vision score of 7 or 9. What is that, like 3
okay,
words?
we don't need to talk about that as Viego's now going to go in on Echo, try his best to do what he can. Wukong is here. Kog'Maw is here as well. It is a party in the top lane, and Viego just now got that invite. Almost falling there. 4 top, and still no kills right there. Shurima, your Emperor has arrived as Shane will flash forward, forces the Shen ult onto Renata. A huge waste of the ultimate there, only hitting on Azir. Right now, Shane is still here. It is on to Firefly, and he will actually find a trade kill, and that's a huge shutdown right now. But Kog'Maw goes boom to the Crocodile, and there is the flash away, and he's polymorphed. You can't do that, my good sir. As this interior crocodile alligator finds another kill, and that is a Baron for Legends. Sorry about that.
We're gonna need to get you some cough drops, man. You are popping off with these callouts.
Right. Yeah.
Wukong thinking about going
right.
over the wall here. Will get the 4-man ultimate. Viego and Lulu both falling instantly. Shane running out of health as Teagarden is not very far ahead of him. Echo is in there, but will
wait a
fall
second!
to Zeri.
It's a Zeri moment! Is this a Zeri moment right now? Can Wukong do enough? Shane! No, the Ignite is not there as well! Renata W also means that he stays alive. Guardian Prod. Oh, it's doomed. It's a Dignitas Baron, and that means Dragon will go the way of Lotus almost assuredly with Teagarden dead.
Alright, Glor, what went wrong? What did ZMG do wrong there that led to that disastrous
Wukong
fight?
Flash Ultimate. Wukong Echo Flashes. Pretty much. I mean, granted, they played a wombo combo perfectly between themselves, so it's very hard to disengage in that. You are in a Baron Pit, you are in a constricted area, of course, which is what Wukong and Echo love to have their enemies in. What's surprising to me, actually...
Blue side is getting the vision line set up for this Drake. And so they do have a chance of either 50-50ing or maybe delaying enough for Zeri to get to the fight.
Oh, teleport on the bot side, though. Here we go. Echo has now been swatted by the minions. Now it is going to be complete vision control right now for Lotus. This could be it. Reality is spotted. All right, now Wukong jumping over is immediately going to ult, but he is right now alone as the Shen ultimate is there. The huge Renata ultimate, and that means it's a ton of damage. But right now, you did not hit the Zeri. Azir is still alive. He flashes. He goes forward. It's a three-man shuffle, but he's all alone, and it is destruction on Legends. It is all up to Zeri. Can she finish this fight herself like Master Chief? And the answer is going to be a flat no. Oh, no. Very, very unlucky team fight for the side of Legends there. Just not able to really get much there. The Wukong Wing in into 4 members works out perfectly because of the instant Shen ultimate. Very surprised that it was only 1 death there. But now at this point, if you are Legends, this is starting to get a little worrying. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, it's it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Is what is their response to the Wukong Invis ulti, and currently there isn't.
And that's
Very
the second time in a
unfortunate.
row around 2 major objectives that they've made that same mistake of letting the Wukong get in on their back line.
And right now, Dragon has been taken, so they did delay the soul for another 4 minutes, so it's a 31-minute soul minimum. And that's a huge Shurima shuffle right there. Azir just going to go ahead and raise that in the name of Shurima. Echo actually ults backwards, but that's a huge Wukong flash, thunder, huge! Empersify trying to do as much as he can. Berserk going in right then and there. Viego will try his best to trade one. Does get the 1,000 gold shutdown. Shane is doing as much as he can. And the Zeri W will find another. This could be actually very dangerous for Lotus. They may have lost the game here. Shen had ultimate the entire time and not once used the stand divided. What a disaster there from Lotus. Such a great pick getting there. A huge Wukong ultimate, but they just weren't able to focus the right targets. Viego was able to stay alive. That's a huge shutdown for him. And now a... What? Okay, Shen just teleported from blue buff to mid lane. That just kind of like killed my hype. But now we have the Baron coming up right now. This could be a 50-50. It will be. Who is going to claim it? And right now, it is Viego able to claim it right now. And Kog'Maw, my friend, you're in the wrong part of the neighborhood. The Shen ultimate will not save your life. Jobey trying his best to do what he can. Shen instantly taunts onto Renekton. Okay. Sorry about that. I did not mean to break character there. As Renekton stayed there for protection. Forgot to protect himself.
However, we did secure the Baron on blue side. I think they will look to push the N.
Should be able to push it in right now. Now now how we can win this team fight here is we just Zeri ult here, and we Lulu ult the Zeri, and we Shurima shuffle 4 into Viego ultimate, and we win, right guys? This will be a hashtag Legends win.
Zeri trying to go in on that little echo there. It looks like we're going to do some resets and then probably go for the push. When is Drake up? I can't. The timer.
A minute 38. A minute 38 for the dragon to come up. You know, it's really funny. There has been no objective bounties this game.
Well, it's only a 1.7k difference right now. This is an incredibly
It's been
close
extremely
game.
close for the gold lead this entire game. And Mr. Observer, if you wouldn't mind showing us the gold lead real quick, so that way we can see the difference. Mostly jungle, actually. Mid lane is even, which is a bit shocking.
Bot lane is a 2.5k difference. Top lane is 1.5k.
Considering it's a 5-2-6 Echo and a 4-5-7 Azir. So Azir has 3 more deaths, 1 less kill, and 1 more assist, and he is ahead of Echo in gold.
I
Okay.
mean, I think he got a shutdown earlier.
I believe it's due I think it's just due to shutdowns as well, that mechanic. Right now.
I will say, when did Renekton get there? Because I know he didn't have teleport up. Did he just walk down?
Yes.
He walked.
He just took the long stroll down.
Yep, and now Dragon is here in 30 seconds. This would be a huge soul opportunity.
Do you think they just death push? and wait for them to walk into them? Is this a death bush angle?
Little
Looks like
dangerous
they're
for
trying to
Echo's
figure.
ability to W check
I think
pushes,
it is
but
a. They was a death push angle, but 750 damage onto a tank, by the way. Definitely not the broken part of her kit, right? As now Zeri's just gonna walk up to Wukong and say, "You won't ult me," and now Lulu ult is gonna be right then and there, forces the Shen ultimate, which is a huge cooldown, and now Wukong has no second ultimate. He just wasted it again, and the Zhonya's is not enough. The stopwatch is wasted, and now this fight cannot possibly be any worse for Lotus,
Wait,
as Viega's
wait.
soul.
Okay. I was like, wait, why does it have a Wukong portrait?
I
Yeah,
had a heart
Viega's
attack
soul.
for
Oh
a
my
second
god,
there.
Zeri moment! She
That was
actually hits the
slow?
W right there. That's a huge slow onto Renata. She has fallen. Legends can now end here. There is no Renata ultimate to stop them. There is a wave pushing top lane. It is going to be a massive one with a cannon minion there. This could potentially be it. It is all up to see how Lotus can defend this right now. That's going to be a huge potential pick onto his ear. Not able to get the burst through. Echo is behind, trying his best to do what he can, disrupt what he can. He has no mana, though. And now this Shen is just taking so much poke. But they do successfully hold. With the 0 mana Echo, they hold off Legends and will drag this game out another 5 minutes.
Taking the Krugs.
Okay. Reality just deciding that these are my Krugs now.
Azir taking blue buff.
You know, if you're
fair.
the support, at some point you just say, I need gold. I can't keep buying control wards if you guys take everything. So,
True, look at that. Watchful Wardstone. Purchased just like that. I've not seen that item in ever.
it's a truly
Item?
underrated item. It gives you an extra control ward and an extra stealth ward to use, so you can have 2 control wards and 4 stealth wards on the map at any one time.
I think
I buy that sometimes when I'm like, I might as well. Because it's like games where pink wards are really needed, and you're like, well, I might as well get some
this is a
shots.
potentially huge pick! It's again on the Zuri! But he is just so tanky with the HP! He can't really get much there, but that's a huge Renata ultimate! And it's 2 down! Shane trying his best to match a kill! But no! It is actually doomed! As now Wukong does fall, but Wukong did his job, forcing Viego and Azir out of the fight, and a huge pick! On this side of Lotus now means that Legends are on the back foot. Baron is up in 40 seconds. My goodness. When will this madness end? Okay, potentially could be a nice little pick here. They do have a low HP Renata, but won't go for it.
Fairly low HP Echo
are
as
we
well.
in for a 40-minute banger?
Feels like blue side is having some issues closing out the game.
I mean, very bad error to be caught there. Really just cost them the game-winning fight. Zeri tanking so much, even getting the Lulu ultimate, Lulu shield. Still not enough. Just eventually going berserk, and then the damage just done to him was just too much.
Well, I mean, they didn't have Viego or Azir in that fight, so it was kind of a little scuffed.
Renekton was just doing too much damage to his own AD carry. How crazy is that? Bursting his own shield. Echo now in bot lane, does have the teleport available. We are pushing out mid here just to go for this Baron call. Shen not having ultimate available right now, and they are instantly going to start it for Legends. This is a pull-off angle or a complete angle. Hopefully it is a pull-off angle once we see the Wukong. They now know we're doing it, and they did. I'm so sorry, I did not see how fast we were doing it, and we melted that Baron.
I mean, it's a 4 item Zeri. I mean, I guess that's right. And Azir has
LDR.
3.
LDR with the Nashers, yeah, and the Blade of the Ruined King with Divine. Okay, it's not that surprising actually.
I'm incredibly
just couldn't
surprised that Lotus did not do a better job of controlling that Baron after winning the fight so cleanly.
Really, it just felt like they just kind of gave up after their vision was just taken. They just decided that it's not worth it. We should let Echo just go ahead and grab let Echo grab that bottom tier tower. It does claim an objective bounty.
It does
as they
look like they will try to do the 1-4 split right now with Renekton bot and the other 4 members mid.
is not a bad idea, but considering Shane does not have teleport, will have teleport in time for Elder.
Looks like
But
he's just
now it's
walking up to
a
mid lane though.
Shen not backing up in time, does have the ultimate still, also has the teleport. And now, are they hard forcing this? I think
There's
they
the
are.
0 turret.
They are going to hard force this. Just have the minion soak as much damage as possible. Wukong instantly jumps out. That's a huge Renata ultimate onto 2. No follow-up is there as Echo. Now going to go ahead into the backline, do as much as he can. Wukong ultimate is here. Huge Shen doing as much damage as possible. Viego in the backline doing what he can to Echo. 1 has fallen, 2 has fallen. And Legends will go ahead and claim victory. A 5-0 clean sweep as they wipe their hands with Lotus. The 37-minute mark, almost a 40-minute banger. Legends will go ahead and take game 1 of this series.
So, anyone will make some polls on whether or not Azir gets Azir next game?
He can't get it.
Free channel points, you mean? Yeah, I'll take that.
There is no world where Lotus makes the same mistake twice.
I hope so.
I don't
Okay.
mean to talk down Lotus, but that seemed to have been an unforgivable, unforced error there.
Okay, unfortunately, I do have to go. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And if I don't have a scrim planned, I will definitely full cast if
It
you ever need me.
it was an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you for joining us, Glors.
Love the
Hey,
energy.
good luck, have fun, and stay winning zero mechanics gaming legends. Marty got me messed up because she called us zero gaming mechanics the other day. But thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Glors. Is there anything else you would like to say before we get figured out what game 2 is going to be happening here?
I am curious to see how the picks and bans for next game turn around, especially with the Ziri and Azir. Especially both I guess like 2 of their members got their probably one of their top picks. Azir got, Azir, and then their T Garden got Ziri. And it definitely showed in some of those fights.
Alrighty, well, as we give these teams a couple of moments to circle back and get things sorted here, we are going to go into a short break. We will be back with the draft for Game 2 here in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the draft of Game 2 of this 3-game series between Lotus Bloom and ZMG Legends. Of course, ZMG took that Game 1 win in stunning fashion.
And there's the Azir ban.
We knew it was coming after that game. We were surprised that it didn't happen at first, but it happened here. Of course, Glors had to step away as he is coaching one of our other teams, so we are joined now by caster Papa, who will be joining us for this game. Welcome to the desk.
What's up?
Are you
Nothing's up.
surprised? Are you surprised by the Azir and Azir ban after last game?
The Zirban, yeah. I don't know if they're the Lotus Bloom City Carry place area that could have been first pickable, but the Zirban definitely. But it does leave
I
open
am kind of
Lucian
surprised
Nami.
by the first pick Karma.
It certainly
Um,
feels like there were more high priority picks on the board than support, but perhaps
We
they
just
had
could
got the
be.
plans.
power combo bot with the Lucian Nami.
It,
What
it
do
could
you? Oh, sorry.
it could definitely flex, right? Like Karma is available in other roles, but I know reality hates playing against Karma. So, uh,
Are we
uh,
going to
uh,
see the return of the top lane tank Karma? Is that what you're prophesying for us today, Papa?
no, it's not what I'm prophesizing, but it is an option. And it is not in a terrible spot. It's just its win rate is pretty low. Um, but we'll have to see what else they pick.
Are you surprised by the Wukong still being up? Maybe they didn't think that it was a strong enough pick last game to prioritize it this time.
It depends on comfort, you know. I'm not totally sure of everyone's pools. Mainly Azir and Realities is in chains. So I don't know if Jobey plays it or not. Um,
If anything, I'm surprised that Lotus Bloom didn't pick it up because their jungler played a very strong Wukong game, had 2 or 3 major fights where he got into the backline and was incredibly disruptive with his ultimates, so I'm surprised that they have not picked it up so far. I almost wonder if ZMG will commit that 5th ban to it here.
I think
I
they're
say
going to try to get the Swain into a comfortable matchup, especially since Swain is Azir's second best champion currently after, well, Azir.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they banned something like Xerath even uh against Lotus Bloom's mid laner. It'll help with their poke comp that they currently have and is a pretty good matchup into Swain.
Swain pick here, I do believe they will be giving counter pick to top lane.
We see the Syndra ban instead.
Okay, there was a Viego ban on ZMG. I think that probably means that the jungler on Lotus Bloom also plays Viego, and it was a pick away last game.
Yeah, I feel like Jobey is gonna have to pick something that can help facilitate the early game for the bot lane. Because if Lucian gets ahead, it's a real nightmare for what Lotus Bloom has drafted so far.
Especially since I feel like with Lucian Nami lane, if you are going even, you're losing the lane. You really need to be kind of leaving the lane with a hefty kill number.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is like if you can get something that can help early in the jungle toward the bot side, then it's going to be a real struggle for Lotus Bloom.
Instead, we see the Kayn pick. Doesn't seem like it quite fits the niche that y'all were describing there. This a bit of a curveball from ZMG, huh?
To a degree, like Kane does want to farm pretty hard, but he also does need to get his passive going. So
Um,
it'll depend if he's going to go blue or red.
Against that team, they're fairly squishy, so I would expect kind of a blue cane. But I do know red cane tends to be prioritized in comp play.
Right. Red Cane is a lot stronger. Plus, Blue Cane's not going to be able to get through shields. They have a lot of shielding on Lotus Bloom.
And there's the Darius pick. I wonder if they're gonna pick Yorick here. Wait, I don't think that's a good matchup for Yorick. I don't really know matchups for that.
No, I wouldn't pick Yorick into that.
Not a great matchup at all, no.
No.
Unless you're willing to dump multiple points into your W early as Yorick, which guarantees you don't have a good time.
Need some
Typically,
engage. Need some
there's-
engage out of the top side.
Jax is technically engaged, although he's a bit squishy for what it feels like ZMG needs here.
I do believe the Jax Darius matchup is a skill based matchup.
Let's see what.
Let's looky at the win rate.
Yeah, it's 50.11% win rate.
So almost
Jack's
entirely
favored.
even.
So yeah.
It's a full on skill matchup.
So I fully expect Olaf to be putting all this attention topside to get Darius ahead. If Darius gets ahead, gonna be pretty tough for ZMG. On the flip side, I think Jobey should be heading toward bot as much as possible, but he does have more options for ganking compared to Olaf.
So
Setup for ZMG is a little bit easier for ganks than it is on Lotus Bloom.
So should we be expecting then for mid lane to be a little bit less pressured than it was last game, where both junglers showed up quite a few times pre-10, pre-15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, Kane can go toward the Orianna, where what am I about to say here? I'm reading a message too. Where Olaf, it's a little harder because pre-6 Orianna doesn't really provide gank support other than the speed up. So Olaf will have to hit the X and then get the speed up off Orianna. And then post 6, Swain can just drain tank. So
Yeah, I was
it's a little bit harder.
If Swain gets rolling kind of early on, does Blue Side really have an answer to Swain? I mean, because I know like Olaf can kind of negate like CC, but like if I don't think that really beats just Swain damage and drain tanking.
Right. And you expect Karma to go Chemtech to be the team's anti-healing, and it's gonna take a while to get there. That's second or third item for Karma, depending on what they want to go. So it's gonna take a while for them to be able to mitigate that healing, and by the time Karma gets the item, it's probably a little too late. So I think ZMG has a slight advantage here for laning is better for ZMG, as well as like what their comp needs to do to win is a little bit easier, right? Ezreal has to hit Qs, Karma has to hit Qs, and then also be shielding everybody. And then Darius and Olaf is just, I'm going to run at you and hope my Orianna can hit a big ult. So
Kind of wish that they would have had like maybe something like a Kaisa or something who wants to be kind of diving in with the rest of her team. Because I feel like with the Karma speed up, I mean, like you ball either Olaf or Darius and have them run, in theory, to do ball delivery service.
right, like if Lotus Bloom had like a better engaged tool, like a big CC, like an Ornn or something like that, then it would be a lot easier for them. But they have, I'm going to run a comp, like they're going to Shurelya's and Mantra Shield for speed up, and Lucian can get away from just about everything. Jax can get away from everything. Kane can go through walls.
And Swain kind of wants you to come at him.
Right. So other than that, like the only person that's going to be kind of left out the dust is Reality, and he can throw down a Nami ult and stop everybody but Olaf. So Lotus Bloom's comp has a lot of like variance into it. Like everything has to go right for them to get a good fight. And if ZMG can set up like objectives like Dragon and Baron first, it's going to be tough for them for Lotus Bloom to get in at all.
So the consensus from the desk then is that in a completely neutral world, ZMG absolutely has the advantage here through draft.
I believe so. And I think, I mean, other than really Lucian, I think they're most of their comp out scales too.
Yeah, most everything but the Lucian will outscale, and if he gets a big enough lead, it shouldn't matter as much. So yeah, like I said, if they can just set up on things earlier and sure up some of the mid to late game errors that they made that made the first game a lot longer, they should be fine.
It's all about that AVCs. Always be closing.
Any final comments here looking at draft before we let our viewers rest a little bit as we wait for spectator delay to catch up?
I don't have anything.
No, I'm pretty good.
Alrighty, in that case, we will be back in about 2 or 3 minutes with the start of Game 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 is getting started here. We've got both teams loading in onto the Rift.
One other thing I would like to point out in this game is Nami is Reality's like most played support. And then I'm pretty sure Tea Garden has a hefty number of games on Lucian. So I think this is one of the dream bot lanes that ZMG wants. But it does look like they're gonna go for some cheese bush strats.
This is
I
an
don't know.
interesting invade direction. Not quite sure where they're going here.
I'm like, but if they just fight point, like, who are they running into? I'm kind of confused. I guess they were going for that ward.
Well, we saw what Cutie did last game, where she ran down to bot lane and immediately put that ward in the mid bush, or the middle bush of bot lane. Perhaps they were trying to assume that Reality would do the exact same thing and trying to catch out the Nami? It's the only thing I can think of. Doesn't make any sense, but perhaps.
Does look like Jax did get a ward on the enemy blue buff, so.
Papa, can you give us any insight into what Lotus was thinking there, or are we flying blind?
It's kind of like it's a smart decision, like it's a pro level kind of thing. So a lot of the time, supports or even support and AD carry will just go to the lane and wait in the far bush near the enemy turret, and they can maybe catch somebody out during that. But by sending the whole team, you're like assuming that someone is going to be there and that you can catch them out. But even then, like, what CC are they going to put down to like catch somebody off? So it's kind of just to blow a flash, if anything. But you're also again assuming somebody's there.
Swain getting some early damage on the Orianna. Oh, Karma started sweeper, so blue bot lane will only have Israel to ward early on.
Oh, it's coming around early for a gank. This is kind of a
Ghost
bad
is
spot for
popped here.
ZMG.
Reckless Strikes comes out. Not enough damage, though. We do get the flash out of T-Garden and the exhaust out of Reality, but that's about it.
I mean, it's super worth it for the Olaf. Like, Ghost is such a low cooldown anymore. And he's probably not going to run into Kane too terribly often.
Although this does give Kane the chance to go in and steal that blue.
Yeah. But I still think overall it's going to be worth it if Olaf can get back down there again.
Real question is, how many Sobraros do you think we'll see this game? I'm referring to when Orianna like ults herself and like misses everyone.
Oh, probably none.
Yeah,
I predict at least one this game.
This is a Plat Diamond League, so I would like to hope that the skill ceiling for these folks is high enough that that doesn't happen. We do see Olaf looking mid lane here. Azir is very pushed up here on this Swain, so might find himself caught out. The root does not land. The ball is on to Leo Griff. The Ghost forced to be popped by Azir here. He will get away with about 100 health. But Leo Griff definitely doing a better job than Jobey at being felt across the map early.
Yeah, I mean, Azir taking Ghost is like good for like the team fight stuff, but in the lane phase, it's gonna give.
Cutie running out of health here. The exhaust comes down. The heal coming out for T-Garden is not going to be enough. Reality is forced to flash forward. We'll get that Nami, but Ezreal might have enough damage here. Olaf and Kayn have found themselves each other in the river as Azir and Glast are fighting each other in the river as well. Reality will just barely survive. The flash from Ezreal will be enough. Orianna able to take out the Swain in the river and Akon forced to walk away. That's going to be a 3 for 2 in favor of Lotus.
I think I wasn't really sure because it panned up toward the mid river fight, but I think if he doesn't have electrocute, never mind. If he had electrocute, like he could just turn hard on the Israel himself. Reality could, and probably just outright win that fight.
I do know personal preference that Reality never goes electrocute. He always goes to someone airy.
Yeah, I've talked to him about that maybe once. I think in this comp, it's probably better to go the electrocute, just because you have a super squishy bot lane like that, which you could kind of get away with it. But what I was saying was, Azir having Ghost is really good for the team fight aspect of things, but like as we saw in the mid lane gank from the Olaf, like it gives Olaf and Orianna the chance or the ability to get onto him a lot easier.
I also believe Azir didn't back after that gank, and both Orianna and Azir were walking bot, which is where the awkward 1v1 happened.
Right.
Yes.
And I think Azir like started that fight like 25% health.
But bot lane's kind of in a rough spot for T-Guard in reality. They need to get the lane pushed. And
The bubble does come out onto QDAF, but not much damage following up. Reality taking a whole lot of chunk on the backside of that droid.
but yeah, like the lane's pushing into him, which is normally fine, but I think it would be better for them to try to get the lane pushed out, try to make Israel miss SPS and get some wards down, because if they don't know where Olaf is, the lane was in a really bad spot for them. And like Fig mentioned a little bit ago during the draft, like this bot lane needs to get ahead, or it was a wasted. It's wasted. It's not going to do anything.
We do see Lotus's bot lane moving up into the mid region here, looking perhaps to dive this Swain. Cutie's very deep.
I think Oriana. Oh, there's the sombrero.
But she didn't ult herself.
She ulted nothing though.
Oh, that's not a sombrero. She just missed. Like that's different than having the ball on yourself and just whiffing because you thought it was out.
That's true. That's true.
But no, I think Karma and Israel moving up there is actually really smart because they had the lane pushed out. There's a big way for bot lane to catch, so they can look to get some wards down or see if there is a pick. Like it doesn't result in anything.
I will say though, these bot laners are not playing together. Like Nami went on the Karma, and then Israel went on the Ezreal.
Kill onto Olaf here as the dive goes wrong. Firefight gets the pull, will get the kill with the Q, and will survive. Barely. But that 3-man dive executed somewhat poorly by Lotus, resulting in Olaf's death.
Actually does hurt Shane still a bit though, because that's 2-3 waves built up there. He's gonna have to burn TP to get a lot of it. He loses 2 plates. Like obviously Lotus Bloom would want something better out of that, but
however, with the death of the Olaf, the right side did decide to go and get the Drake. That was uncontested. I think earlier though, in the bot lane fight between the Nami Lucian versus Ezreal Karma, if they had focused the same person there, they would have gotten at least 1 kill. How is Kane doing on stacks? Can you look?
We can certainly try. Let's see. It does not tell me, unfortunately. So we do not have knowledge about how close Kane is.
I imagine he's not terribly close.
We do have a turret shot taken by Glass, will be just enough damage by Azir, and will barely survive with the help of that Triumph. Ezreal ult is coming here. He's got to be a little bit careful. Does move out of the way in time.
Yeah, with the Kane on the stackings though, he's gotten damage on the bot lane and now Oriana. So if he's going to go red, which I imagine he is based on this build now, he's not close, and even if he was, he's still gonna have to wait on the timer.
Which is a 4-minute
really
timer,
the only person he can really fight is what, Darius and Olaf to get red Kane?
Yeah, so he needs to either find Olaf, which he doesn't necessarily want to do. Olaf is down in farm and down in kills, but Olaf should be able to run him.
We do see Lotus taking this Rift Herald here. Kane is in the area, but looks to be ganking Darius. Instead, the Ghost immediately popped by Darius, running away as the Karma is roaming up. Olaf and Oriana continuing to just fight the Herald here. And they will take that. It will go on to the Olaf.
Yeah, this is just an overall win for Lotus Bloom right now. Like they're getting the Herald. Ezreal got solo XP and didn't really miss out on too much farm, where T-Guard in reality had a share. They're gonna get plates and top. They can probably just drop Herald.
Herald is dropped. Shane running out of health very quickly here as Leo Griff will come in. Firefight gets that kill. The charge will come off and likely knock down this turret.
That's a big yikes.
Wide enough damage. It will fall eventually here. Azir popping the ult, going in on Glass. The immediate shockwave coming out from Glass, though, will be enough damage, and Azir will fall in the 1v1.
I'm calling it. Game's over. Like,
I will say though, it's like with Karma being gone from bot, I feel like bot lane has not been playing very aggressive.
well, it's hard for them, right? Like, what are they gonna do to the Israel? You can sit in their tower and just Q farm. So it's one hard for them, and then the Kane gang with already 2 in mid, and the possibility of Olaf showing up. Like, even if Olaf doesn't come there, they hard lose that. Karma's just gonna perma shield Darius. Darius is gonna lifesteal, and that's just a 2v2 that Darius and Karma are always gonna win. So it's looking really rough. I think what needs to happen is they need to start prioritizing bot a little more, and just let Jax and Swain outscale, because it's looking rough. Like, their best hope right now is to do that. Focus on getting to objectives first.
Well, they are going in here. Jobey is there, but Leo Griff also available for the counterattack. QDAF will manage to flash out. The Visions of Empire does not catch anyone. And it looks like this will not be turned. Reality is able to walk out. Orianna is in the area. Swain has chosen not to walk down here, which means that Lotus has the numbers advantage for this Drake. Olaf looking at rotating around behind the turret, but Kayn is there to play Watchdog, and we'll see the ward being dropped by the Olaf here will be enough to scare him away.
One thing that may have gone wrong in that fight was the fact that Nami gave the empowerment to herself and not Lucian when Lucian went in. So I don't think they had the damage to get the clean kill that they wanted.
The idea was right. Just played not to the best.
Teagarden may find himself
Teagarden's dead.
Caught out here as the root is enough to connect. Akon will get that kill.
Yeah, just a little greedy. You know, you don't have any business really walking up that far. You know, dragon spawning. You know, your support's not there. You have no vision anywhere. It's just really greedy by Teagarden.
This will be first dragon going over to Lotus Bloom. So it will be 1 dragon to 1. And we are going to see an Ocean Soul this game.
It looks like they are going to be putting priority over this Rift Herald because Nami has just rotated topside.
Rift Herald's not even going to be up for a while.
Then I guess maybe it's just for a gank?
They got 2.5 minutes.
Shane taking a couple of turret shots here. Not going well. The early execution from Darius will not find the kill, but it does force Shane out. Jobey continuing the fight onto Firefight with Nami's support, but Darius able to disengage.
I feel like ZMG is just a little lost right now. Like, they don't have any hard engage on anything. Kane's behind in terms of, Kane's behind in terms of his passive stacking to get to the red Kane. That's the first time he's hit, I think, either Olaf or Darius. So that's going to be put behind. You know, Teagarden's walking up aggressively for stuff he doesn't need to walk up for, and then Azir's even losing 1v1s to Orianna. So they're in a really, really tough spot. They just need to slow down. It looks like they're trying to do too much.
If you're ZMG here, do you still consider this game winnable, or do you take what you can get and regroup mentally for game 3?
It's honestly going to depend on what happens about the next 5 minutes.
We see the flash knockup from Jobey. Glass forced to run out, but Leo Griff is in the area. Will go in onto Jobey. Azir landing the root pull, but Leo Griff pops the ult. Nami ult comes through, but only hits onto Leo Griff, which will not knock him up, but Jobey is able to keep the ult in him, and Azir will get the final damage there.
I will say, though, although they haven't... Oh, well, I guess... Never mind. I was going to make a comment about the bot lane CS because Lucian was up like 20 or 30 CS, but it's kind of, the gap is kind of closed in.
It's still a 20 CS gap. That's not nothing. Although the gold does not reflect it. As
it's not nothing, but it's not nothing, but it's not enough at the same time. So, like, if we can... Yeah, he's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say next. If we go look at the items, like Ezreal's got a cheaper item already. His mana or his tier is stacked, almost full. So just the item difference here is pretty
Jobey
big.
going in hard onto QDAF, instantly exhausted and will be forced to back away. Azir losing this trade with Glast. Nami is in the area, but it may not be enough. Azir does manage to scare the Orianna away. The immediate shockwave coming out from Azir. Glast will get that kill. QDAF running out of health, but will be able to survive as Jobey falls to the Ezreal ult.
What are they doing?
Reality is caught out here by the Olaf axe, forced to flash away.
So they're in a big solo queue mentality right now. ZMG is. They're all in the mindset of we're behind. I have to make a big play by myself and be the hero of the game because they're behind and they're in a comp where they at least their bot lane needs to be ahead. Swain shouldn't really be losing 1v1s to Orianna that early. And we already talked about the skill matchup in top.
Shane's going to find himself dying here as the Darius ult comes through. Not much that can be said there. He just walked into a bush and face checked the Darius.
So you remember like 3.5 minutes ago when I said it's going to matter in the next 5 minutes?
We've reached the point where if
Yeah,
you're ZMG, you say, let's recap.
Yeah, they just need to chill out. They're in that solo queue mentality, like everybody's behind. I have to do everything and then some to like get us back into the game, and it's just not working out. Even if they got to an objective early and set up for it, honestly, I think they lose. Like Darius and Olaf are so far. Darius more so ahead. Olaf is even despite being 0-3. He's at least participated in 3 of the kills, which kind of helps us gold a little bit.
He's actually ahead by 500.
He's ahead. He's ahead on what 6 creeps, and has more gold. And then they whiff everything in the bot lane. They just need to stop.
Azir getting caught out here by the Darius. The pull will land. Running out of health here very quickly. Will not pop the ult. Will just fall to Glast as the Drake spawns here. That will likely be an Ocean Drake for Lotus uncontested.
Yeah, and even if that didn't happen, they shouldn't contest it anyway. What needs to happen right now is Swain needs to get as much gold as possible. Jax needs to get as much gold as possible. Kane needs to get as much gold as possible. Lucian's going to be worthless this game, no matter how much gold you give him at this point, unless he picks up like a quadra kill or something insane. But he doesn't even have the damage to do that.
Is going to find himself caught out here by QDAF. The root will connect, but Jobey does manage to have enough to zone Akon the Kid. QDAF managing to just barely survive there with the help of Orianna.
And that's kind of talking about earlier is Lucian really depends on being really ahead early on, and I just don't think they weren't really able to pick up any kills early on.
Yeah, it's and we're at that 5-minute point, and it didn't get any better. So it's just let's do the best that we can, make the best place that we can, the smart place that we can. Maybe they'll make a mistake.
They do catch the Darius out here. They've got 4 members there. The flash stun does not land. The pull brings Azir into tower range, but there is not enough damage from that turret. The Zanya's is enough, and the shutdown will go over to the Kayn. Is that the person you wanted that 700 gold shutdown to go to?
Yeah.
I think it would probably be best on either Swain or Kane there.
Yeah, it's either going to Swain or Kane. Jax at this point is probably realistically never going to answer the Darius on the sideline.
It's probably gonna have to be Swain, right? Like I don't.
Honestly, I don't think any of them can. It's going to take 2 to 3, and if Darius gets a UQ off of it, like they're not going to kill him anyway.
If blue side starts grouping too, I don't think they can actually kill the Darius with the Karma Shield.
Yeah, they need to forfeit next dragon. They need to forfeit probably Baron. Hope they can get enough gold to actually do anything.
Lucian's about to get caught out here again.
And it's just not going to be. There's just not enough gold in the amount of time that they need to get it to make an impact.
Nami may find himself in a bad position. Does walk forward here with the Olaf and the Karma in the area. The Ghost popped by the Olaf. The shield comes out. The bubble will not do anything. In reality, will fall very quickly here. Jobey going in as well. But Olaf continuing to be in that Ragnarok mode, cannot be delayed, cannot be stopped. Leogriff pulling Jobey out as far as he can. The Karma shields continuing to go through. The Ezreal ult comes down, not quite enough as Jobey will barely survive. Leogriff running out of health very quickly here, but the Lucian does not have enough damage. Azir going in 1v4, pops the ult, and immediately pops himself. Akon the King going in does not have quite enough damage, and Lucian will survive there.
Exactly what I said. What happened there? Nami got caught. Kayn goes in to try to be the hero. Almost dies. Kayn gets out. Azir goes in, or Swain goes in to try and be the hero, gets one shot. If somebody's at this point in the game, with how far behind they are, if somebody gets caught, just assume they're dead and keep trying to get gold back in your pocket. That's the only thing they
Firefight
can
once
do.
again caught out here. The stun will land this time. Jobey misses the knockup. The two-man Q heal will not be enough. Firefight will not make it to that blasting cone, and Jax gets the kill gold there.
And those are the kind of plays they Red State right now cannot win themselves. They win off of the mistakes of Blue.
Yeah, and thankfully Darius has made 2 mistakes in a row, but every time Darius makes a mistake, 2 or 3 members of ZMG make a mistake.
And that is the Olaf ult. So Olaf will not have ulti. Well, I guess they're not going to go for Baron here, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so like Darius
Olaf's
got caught
defense
right there where Olaf is a little bit ago, and then that's a mistake, and that's a win for ZMG, and then they turn around and give 2 kills over trying to be heroes. Darius gets caught again. Now, if there's not a big mistake by ZMG in the next minute and a half, then it's worth it.
I think it will come down kind of to this Drake, because I bet you ZM will try to go for this Drake.
If
Or
they're smart or not.
They should give, because I mean it isn't Soul, but like
they need to clear out the vision around Baron and put some of their own defensive vision down, because that's what's going to try to keep them in the game, is maybe getting picks like on the Darius.
Jax is a little bit overextended here.
Jax is also coming back up in farm. He's only about like 18 down. He was like 3 waves down.
And thankfully for the Jax, his item build is cheaper, and even though it's cheaper, he's still, half item and a half down. Probably see how much gold Darius has.
Lucian does an 800 gold difference.
So, but he has 400 in pocket. So realistically, like Jax is like 3/4 of an item down on a cheaper build.
He is gonna find himself being nope, he will back up in time.
Lucian does still have a CS lead. However, I don't think I think the people who need to be getting the waves is the Swain and Jackson.
Once
right
again,
now
Firefight getting bouncy housed here. T-Garden trying to get it with the ult, and will, in exchange for that Drake, they get another mistake from Darius.
That's super worth. That is exactly the way they get back in the game. Is keep finding picks like that. Give up the objectives. Lotus Bloom knows or should know that they shouldn't be getting contested on Drakes, so they only need to send 1 or 2 people to do it. That gives you the opportunity to find picks on the other members who are being a little disrespectful. But to a certain point, that's not going to be enough either, because at some point you do have to contest the Drake, and the gold lead, where it hasn't necessarily grown in the last 5 minutes, hasn't gone down either.
And then Lucian should be able to get out of that. And then that was Shirelius from Karma.
Oriana a bit caught out, but the Nami bubble does not connect, and she will be able to walk free.
Looks like they now are trying to get vision over the top side of red right now. And then in theory, I think this is going to end up being a Baron fight if anyone dies.
We do see all 5 members of ZMG committed for this fight. The TP comes in from the Jax. But Lotus Bloom just walks away here.
Yeah, imagine if Jax used a real weapon.
I do believe the lore has changed. I think that is technically a real weapon now. He no longer has a lamppost. It's an ancient Shuriman artifact with some kind of holy light inside.
It's a lamppost.
It is still a lamppost, but technically it's a real weapon now.
But I'm going to bring something up that Fig, you asked me off screen, is Ori going to be enough AP damage for this? And I told you that nobody on ZMG is going to build MR, and you know how her build's going to work is they're going to feel it. Well, that was before Oriana was fed. There was a QW combo onto the Jax earlier by Gromp, and it did like a quarter of his health.
A little bit more than that. It did
Yeah.
approximately a third. Total of 650 damage, which is healthy. QDAF may find himself a little bit caught out here, but Shane running out of health very quickly. The ult from the Oriana will be enough to take him out. Jobey saved by the Nami ult as Azir going in has popped that ult. Will be drain tanking here, but the Zanya's does not help very much. Gives him enough time to get the Olaf, but Kayn will fall to the Oriana. Azir running out of that Dragon stance, or Raven stance, I suppose. Glass continuing to harass over the wall. That is a 1 for 2. Once again, in favor of Lotus.
Yeah, and again, the gold lead's not changing hardly at all, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not the best thing, right? At least it's not growing, but at the same time, it's not shrinking either. It's been around 6.5K.
Around, oh, that's not where you want to be, Azir.
It's been around the 6.5K mark for like 8 or 9 minutes now. But you need it to start shrinking a little bit because Ocean Soul's going to come up here in how long?
90 seconds.
A minute and a half. So you got a minute and a half to get as much gold in your pockets, get vision down. Even getting vision down, as we just saw, is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. And, fight for the soul that you didn't want the enemy team to have because it's Ocean Soul and they have Darius Soul off Karma. So it's a rough look still.
If you're ZMG, are you at all annoyed that all of these picks that you've been getting have been on the members who haven't mattered as much? You haven't gotten Ori, you haven't gotten Ezreal, all your picks have just been on Olaf and Darius. So you're not getting those bounties that have been building up out of the misplays in the early game.
Yeah, you're not getting the bounties. I don't think you're as irritated as the fact is you just need picks, period. It doesn't matter who they're on because it's going in your pocket either way.
Wait, did Lucian just auto like the minions to Ori there? Looks like Karma will not get caught out here.
Although double ghost immediately popped, as well as the ult from Karma. Azir popping that drain taking ultimate, but everyone walks away. Azir trying to survive here will fall to the Darius execution. Teagarden barely able to get out there. Leo Griff running out of health as well. Jobey causing havoc in the backline. QDAF will fall as well, and Glast is the only member remaining being run down here by Jobey, and that's going to be a 5 for 2 ace in favor of ZMG. And they save Soul.
It's like case scenario for ZMG.
Yeah, so the thing with that is like every fight, once it's extended, it comes down to like who has.
Papa, you're cutting in and out here. I'm sorry, folks. It appears my Discord has broken. I am going to...
Fights like that one where it's like, we're coming in one at a time. Kayn can come in from different angles. Jax can come in from different angles. Lucian can come in from different angles where the Lotus Bloom champions have to all go down the path. They have to go down the designated path. So fights get really hairy really quick. And I don't think Lotus Bloom played it wrong. I just think they got outplayed in terms of raw skill.
I will say though is who got those bounties. I know Kayn got the Oriana bounty. I'm not really sure where the Ezreal bounty went.
Lotus Bloom here able to sneak the Baron immediately on their respawn.
Yeah, here's how little Teagarden matters in the grand scheme of things. He almost full culling, got a Q, and did a double tap auto on Karma, and Karma still had like a quarter health. Like that's how little Teagarden can do anything this game.
At this point, it really is on the Jackson, Swain, and Kane to really kind of carry. I will say though, it just really didn't help that bot lane did not get like any help this game. So I don't think Lucian was ever able to get online.
I wouldn't even say that they didn't get any help, right? Like a lot of the times, other than the first pass through when Olaf was bot, King was also bot. It's just that they didn't know Olaf was also bot. Um, I wouldn't necessarily say they didn't get any help, but when they did get help, they didn't do anything with it. Or the kills didn't get onto Lucian even. Like Nami picked up one, Lucian died, and Kane maybe picked up one.
That like Baron minion's kind of messing up that Lucian.
Yeah,
Like he's a glorified caster minion.
He can't even 1v1 Kane Baron Kane minions. Like the thing that's going for ZMG, I guess I'll start playing devil's advocate for them a little bit, is that Swain's getting to a point that his ult Zhonya's damage actually matters. Like he's finally gotten there. Kane's really freaking hard to kill, and 3 out of the 5 champions on Lotus Bloom are auto attack base, so Counter Strike is starting to be a little more impactful. So it's getting harder to kill them because they were, for the most part, able to keep that gold lead at the 6.5k mark for that 10 minutes or so. And they were getting picks off on the Darius, and things like that. So it's getting to the point. I still think it's a pretty big uphill battle, all things considered. I think a big mistake was on Lotus Bloom's end. Is the Ezreal build. Like, I don't know why he's going Eclipse.
Wait a minute. I thought the two main things for Israel is either Trinity Force or Divine.
Yeah, you want to go Trinity or Divine most of the time, and I think either one would have been better here than Eclipse. Like, you can go Eclipse in certain situations. It's not this situation because, yeah, great, you can do a big chunk of damage with Eclipse on Nami and Lucian, but
They're not the
you don't
ones who
want
matter.
to. Yeah, they are virtually worthless. Like, Reality's had a fine game on the Nami, I think, for the most part. Like, he's not necessarily behind.
But if he's not in a fight, it's not going to change the outcome incredibly.
Yeah, not incredibly. Like, yes, the healing matters. Yes, the buff matters.
Speaking of not being in a fight, forced to flash away here to survive QDAF.
Like, the things that Nami does matter, just not to the extent that maybe in like a 1v1, if he shows up, he can turn the 1v1 around. But if he's showing up to a 4v5 late, it's not going to matter too terribly much.
It looks like Blue is getting some deep vision and control of the red side jungle. Or, well, red side's blue side jungle.
Yeah.
And with 20 seconds to go to Baron here, they found Shane out. The ghost immediately popped by Firefight. Running in has already used that pull as Azir and Reality both show up. The immediate shield coming out of Karma as Firefight forced to use that Hourglass, continuing to put damage onto Shane. As the culling comes out as well, the pull onto Firefight will take him out. Going over to Teagarden here, Glass forced to flash over the wall. Azir finally runs out of that ultimate. Flash away from Karma will keep him from dying. Jobey trying to find Leogryph here. Shane jumping over to him as well. Azir chasing down through this jungle. Will not find anyone, but that does put ZMG in prime position to take this Ocean Drake. Leogryph is still alive here, but forced very far away by Teagarden and Azir. The entire team going in. The bubble and knockup will not land onto Cutie or Akon. Teagarden running out of health here very quickly, going down to a quarter health from 3/4. And Lotus Bloom has reorganized a bit. Leogryph running out of health very quickly here. Will pop that Zanya's and still die to Jobey. Azir running out of health thanks to that WQ from Akon. Shane continuing to restart this dragon, but Lotus Bloom is not out of this fight yet. The bubble landing on nobody. Azir very low, Shane very low, Reality very low. They will get the Drake though as Jobey going through the wall to try and get some distance for his team. The root landing onto QDAF. Hopefully enough to disengage, and ZMG does get out.
Really hate that
like
for
their play there.
I really hate that for Lotus Bloom. I think that was just a bad choice. Like,
I think
you have vision in the jungle. You know Dragon's coming up. It doesn't matter if you see Jax there or not because he's gonna jump away anyway. If you just send Olaf to the dragon, and you just sit in any single bush that you know isn't warded because you just cleared it out anyway, and kill whoever face checks, which ZMG, this ZMG team does quite often, is sometimes random face checks. It happened in the last game. They were face checking by mid brush, and Wukong got on Zeri and Azir and almost threw the game. So you know they've done that. So why not just either force them to do it, and if they don't, take the Drake.
The ult coming out here from Olaf, forced to disengage here. The Ezreal ult goes through, nearly kills Reality is Real, but no further comes through. QDAF finding himself caught out by the hand from Swain. Will be knocked up, will fall here to T-Garden. Azir continuing to chase, will land the hook onto Leo Griff, forced to pop that GA. Jobey zoning away, glassed here. Azir and T-Garden will finish off the Olaf, and that should be a Baron take here for ZMG. Ezreal without the ult will not be able to try and snipe steal.
ZMG has no business winning this game.
Well, the thing is
what's
it called? Like Olaf used his ulti with that first engage. Everyone was able to get out, and then so when the tides turned, see what I did there, and he didn't have ulti for the CC on ZMG.
So think of how like the last, I don't know, 8-9 minutes or so have been very ZMG favored. They're still behind in gold. So like, I don't know if it's ZMG just has better hands, or if Lotus Bloom is just throwing the game so hard,
Lotus
or
Bloom
a
just,
combination of the two.
they had their monitors all go out at once apparently.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said in the draft. Like, it is really hard for a Lotus Bloom to get an engage off. You saw it when they tried to go pick for Zac, and then Darius is speed running all the way into the rest of the enemy team.
Reality caught out here by Darius. The exhaust immediately forced out. Karma trying to come in from the top side, but the rest of ZMG is there to force to disengage.
That's Swain just saving that Nami right there.
If you're Lotus Bloom, are you at all concerned about the turnabout here? After spending so long on Soul Point, in 2 minutes, they're at risk of losing Soul themselves.
Oh yeah, they're sweating hard.
The ult coming out from Nami does not land on the firefight.
I think that they're just slowly getting outscaled with the Jax, Kayn, and Swain. Like, kind of what we talked about earlier is like, excluding the Lucian, red side does outscale blue side. So if they weren't able to end with that previous gold lead, then they're just on the back foot for the rest of this game, I think, unless like we somehow throw really hard.
Yeah, I mean, and it's part of what I said earlier. I think it's part Lotus Bloom's throwing and part ZMG is just out handsing them. And part of the throw is just some of these builds. Like, this Ezreal build's actually killing me. Like, they went Shurelya's Grudge, they have Eclipse. Like, your poke is so much more impactful on the people you're most likely going to hit if you just build Divine Sunder or even Triforce. Like, it's so much more impactful. You have that going. You have Ori without a tier. The Archangels, and going Cosmic. That feels
like
weird.
Isn't that like a core item on Orianna because she's so mana hungry?
On top of the fact she's got Electrocute. Like, that's weird. And
might be for the early game cheese. That might be why she was out trading.
Which is fine. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best thing in the world either. That's more minuscule than not having the Archangels and going Cosmic Overdrive. I feel
Nami
like
resetting here with 15 seconds on this Drake is perhaps going to cost ZMG a little bit in some of their vision control here.
She probably back to get more wards.
She did, but it means that Lotus Bloom now has the first shot at starting this Drake. Azir popping the ghost, going in. Blue team will get the dragon and the soul here. Darius forced to flash out the back of the pit, but Leo Griff is the soul sacrifice. The Olaf sacrifice is definitely worth the Ocean Soul there if you're Lotus Bloom, though.
And that's the other thing too. Like, I all things considered, I think Lotus Bloom's still in a better position here. Like gold's even, yeah. They have Ocean Drake now, yeah. It's actually kind of hard for ZMG to see the siege effectively. At the same time, Lotus Bloom doesn't have the best clear in the world, but they do have like Ezreal Karma poke, Orianna poke to poke to push CMG off
I think
their
it might
towers
come.
without Baron.
I think it might
So
come down
like
to this next Baron fight.
if Azir doesn't hit like a clutch root under a tower and pull somebody forward, like it's really not the easiest siege in the world for ZMG. And that's just exacerbated. Jesus, can I speak? By the Ocean Soul, because they can take that poke and just damage the minions. But I do agree with you though that the Baron, the next Baron fight probably decides the game.
I will say though that Jack seems to be starting the one maybe 1-4 split or whatever. He's gonna be splitting on the bot side of the map with the Baron spawning soon, and the only other person on blue side who has TP would be Orianna, because Darius went Ghost Flash.
I feel like it's not the end of the world if you sacrifice the Darius in these fights, though. If you push him to match the Jax instead. Although it seems that they're more concerned with just sending 5 people here. The Olaf running in as fast as he can. Azir forced to pop that ult. Reality Real using that tidal wave to zone, but the 2-man shockwave will be enough. Azir forced to Zanya's will die anyway. Meanwhile, Jax on the bot side.
Jax is in the base, just hitting away at turrets and inhibs.
He will get the inhib here before Darius gets back. Teagarden is exhausted. Akon the Kid not having quite enough damage or reach to get that kill. And that is a free inhibitor for ZMG.
I mean, it was at the expense of Azir's life, but...
Well, Azir was going to die anyway. However, Lotus Bloom, having this push here, might be able to respond with an inhibitor of their own. The only person available to respond right now is Jobey, and he does not have the damage to scare away 4 members.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is Swain is the siege and the anti-siege for ZMG. Like, if they're sieging, he hits the root, they get the pick off there.
There's the solo Orianna ult on Nami, and Nami did not die, so...
Olaf's yeah, but starting up this Baron.
It gives them enough time to probably do the Baron.
Kayn is there on the backside. Karma...
Swain and Jax are coming late.
Trying to zone, will get the root off. Karma nearly dying to Teagarden. Jobey ready to go over that wall as Firefight trying to zone. Shane will get the kill on a QDAF, and Lotus comes off of the Baron here. Leogriff running out of health. Firefight low on the backside. Will use that ult early onto Jobey. Will not find the kill. Leogriff's GA is popped as Azir is zoning away the other 2 members, and that's going to be a 3-for-0 and likely a free Baron for ZMG.
I think the only thing that they could really do is maybe Ezreal ult.
Glass does have her ult available, so maybe looking for a 4-man shockwave, but is zoned away. Ezreal ult comes through a little bit too late, does not catch that Baron.
Well, I mean, Ezreal had to go back because of the fact that they were able to get that bot lane and inhib earlier.
Unfortunately, I don't think it ends with this Baron fight at this point. You can easily put Darius to clear the supers and have 4-man defense on whichever lane ZMG decides to push. They have supers in mid, so it's going to take them a while to push down. And like I've said a couple times, the siege is pretty weak. It's pretty much all dependent on the Azir.
Gonna get some peak old school hour plus League of Legends here.
Don't tell me that. I'd rather just go next. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. It's the game's in a flip-flop state. Like you can't really say that either team has
Leogriff using the ult, using the ghost, going in there. Azir popping the ult almost immediately. Jobey getting pulled out, running out of health, but managing to survive. And Firefight is the first to fall here. Azir running out of his ult. Reality looking, but already used that tidal wave. Does not have any more engage.
I've never seen a Darius in competitive play go from like useful to useless so freaking fast. Like he got picked twice in the jungle and then it was he doesn't do anything anymore.
And now that's a second inhibitor down for
And
Lotus
I
Bloom.
will say, we were talking about magic resist earlier. Kane does now have spirit, or no? Is that spirit?
Yes, it is. He's had Spirit
Yeah.
Visage for 3 or 4 fights at this point.
Yeah, but yes, there is magic resist for a while now, but it also goes back to this Oriana's build not being the greatest either.
Has picked up the Void Staff though.
She's gone very defensive with Cosmic and Banshee's Veil. She's gone
This
pretty
Olaf is
defensive
just
as of
getting
late.
melted every fight, though.
Yeah.
Olaf without the flash has to go the long way around, will not be able to get there in time, and they're seeding Elder Drake here to ZMG.
Quick reset off and probably try to push the end. Hopefully.
I hate to give ourselves a black eye, but 25 minutes ago, ZMG was down 8,000 gold, and we said it was time for them to go next. Now they're up for 4,500 and looking to end the game. I feel like we really fell flat on this one.
I'm gonna get flamed later.
Hey, we'll say though, I never stopped believing.
I predicted them to win. I did predict them to win. I'm still gonna get flamed later.
Hey, we were told to be as harsh on them as we felt necessary or warranted. So you can just tell them we were doing what we were told. As ZMG picks up the final inhibitor turret, Olaf still halfway across the map farming his Gromp as the third inhibitor falls here. Bot inhibitor is respawning. ZMG will be right there to take it. And now for a solid 3 minutes we will get triple inhibs on the side of Lotus Bloom.
Are they just waiting for Baron? Next Baron? Is that what's happening? Because we don't really have the best siege without. So we either need a pick here or we need a.
Teagarden tosses out the ult, does not hit anyone. Looks like they're just trying to walk in waves here with the double supers. Two-man pull comes down. The Nami ult hits 3. Leogryph falls. Ezreal falls. Firefight running out of health very quickly here too. Cutie AF
Wayne
will
is
find
just
himself
drain
captured
tanking for
by
his life.
Azir. Both inhibitor or Nexus turrets will fall, and that will be the Nexus as well. Oriana, the sole survivor, is not enough to keep them alive, and that is a 2-0 for ZMG, coming back in a game that seemed unwinnable. Wow.
I'm
I was
gonna
gonna say,
flame.
did I lose my?
I'm getting flamed. I just know.
We're gonna be cooked to shreds after this.
I mean, I said the most negative things.
I have faith.
I was not far
Do we
behind
want
you.
to
So
drag any of the people from Legends into here when they assume they're here?
it would be lovely if we could pull someone in. Can you see if we can find someone?
Oh, we're getting the best person for the interview. Well, let me tell you.
Oh, who are we going to be joined by, Papa?
We're gonna get Jobey.
Oh boy, we're gonna hear it.
Oh,
The man, the myth, Jobey.
the legend.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the party, Jobey. How did y'all pull that off?
Darius played like a fool, and we played off his mistakes. Candy made the call, and we played off his mistakes. And then once we got a little bit fed, we had that big fight, and that's where we got our momentum. There's only like good fights after that. We didn't take a bad fight after that.
Are you referring to the jungle fight by your guys'
Yeah, right
wolf
before
camp?
the first soul point
Yeah.
we fought.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
You
Can
gave
you
them
tell
the
us a little
hands.
bit more about like the comms during the time where you guys were about 8,000 gold behind?
It probably yeah, we never thought we were gonna lose. We always had, that bright outlook. Of course we might make some bad plays, but at one point we were like we're playing this like solo queue, and I think that's the big, we made a bad play bot, and we come back from that after that, and we just play together. We just stack, and then we get picks.
I am so glad you said that because I said that a couple times. It's like they're just doing like solo queue mentality things of like, I need to be the hero at this moment, going in one after another, trying to be the hero and getting one shot in some of those situations. And it's good that you guys recognize that and made that adjustment.
Did the words "Don't worry, guys, we're scaling" ever pop up during that game?
Yeah. At some point they said we outscale, or at some point I mean we just won. I mean we knew we drafted an outscale, but we needed to make a play early to scale, But we never made a fight. We never called to take a bad fight. We saw some good fight opportunities, but we always knew like we can't enter our lead. We never took that chance,
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game though.
Yeah.
And
I
now
feel
you
like you
guys
guys.
are 2-0 in the series. Well, like in the league.
Yeah, jungle diff.
I feel like you guys closed out a lot better
Oh yeah.
this game than any other game, including scrims. Like
Yeah, we
at least scrims that I've seen or been a part of. Like you guys closed this game out a lot better, which is
man, we've
good to
lost
see,
every
especially
single
coming from
scrim.
like behind.
We've lost every single scrim. But those aren't the ones that matter. We win the ones that matters.
Yep, game day matters.
Y'all
100%.
are
You just get the inting out of the way in the scrims, you know.
Oh yeah.
y'all are now 2-0 in your season play. You've got 5 more weeks. How are you feeling looking ahead to your next 5 sets of games here?
I'm feeling hopeful. Let's hope Azir doesn't sleep through practices, and Shane says I can still live in his basement, and I think we'll be good.
All right, heard it from Jobey.
We'll win, 100%.
Anything else you'd like to tell our lovely fans at home?
Hmm.
Anything that's Twitch safe to say?
They safe.
I can't say I do. That's Twitch safe,
All right.
personally.
Thank you for not getting us banned on our 3rd day of streaming.
No problem.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that has been a fabulous 2-game series. ZMG going 2-0 to rise to 2-0 in the Aegis League here.
I never lost faith. I was like, they scale. I think it was a little messy in the middle, but I believed.
I have the bad guy job. Like I have to like look at it from like a non-biased perspective. I got Talk Fast and I got Mr. Talk Fast and Miss CMG all the way, no matter what. And I have to be like, well, they're kind of throwing right now, or the game's kind of over, and then I just look bad when I'm wrong.
You called it as you saw it. Unfortunately, we were all looking through some pretty shaded glasses. Good for ZMG though. There's not much else to say there. Any final
And
thoughts before we start wrapping things up here?
the only other thing I would say is I do believe we will also be streaming tomorrow with our Luna game that is also in the Aegis Gold League.
Alrighty. Well, with that being said, folks, do not forget to follow the Twitch channel so that you can get those notifications when we go live and start casting these games. And make sure to continue to support your local ZMG team. Thank you for joining us for this stream, and we will see you tomorrow.